Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 160 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we are hopping into the SOAP framework with respect to contribution, the contribution area and aspect of the life framework that we use to kind of take the chaos that is normally our lives and add a little framework around it to make it a little bit more controllable for the vast majority of us. Actually, I think the vast majority of people just go through their lives and what happens, they react to it versus a group of people, which is a small percentage of the population, which is actually, I think, the smartest percentage of the population, actually takes control of the narrative of their life and they write their own stories and create their own life. And that's part of being a better version of yourself, being a better you. And that's what this challenge is all about. Well, the first step of the SOAP framework, and I've got all my funky little bars of soap here because I've been doing the SOAP framework and sharing this SOAP framework for, I think, 5 years now. 2020, I started sharing it, and it's 2025, so that's 5 years. Actually, it might be closer to 6 years. So it is a way of, it's a process or a framework. A framework is just a process, right? Of taking a situation that we feel like we're not in control of and getting some control over it. Same as the life framework. I use processes and systems and frameworks to help me make sense of the world around me, to understand the things that are outside of my control, understand the things that are inside of my control, and then manage those, because I can't have an impact on global, peace or global warming or any of those things. I can have a little impact, but not the impact that I want and that I want to have on my own life, right? Because this is our life experience. We get to create what we want out of it. So the first step is story. And with story, we're looking at an area of contribution, or our area of contribution, and we're asking ourselves a couple of questions. I like to break it down to the current story, what's really going on, and then what do I want it to be? So you ask yourself, am I donating? Am I contributing? And what ways am I contributing in, or have I contributed in the past? And what is the current situation? Maybe you've contributed sporadically in the past, but you're not doing anything on purpose right now. It just is what it is. Be brutally honest and descriptive in your paragraph. When you write a paragraph of what is and a paragraph of our desired story, what we want it to be. So you end up with where you are right now, where you want to be, and that creates this gap that we're going to fill with the rest of the SOAP framework, right? The O, the A, and the P. So let me give you an example. This is not my story, but I'm sharing someone else's. I'm not going to share their name, but she says, I donate occasionally, but feel disconnected from where my money goes. So she gives a little money here and there to a cause when people ask, but otherwise she doesn't really think about it. And then what would she like it to be? She says, I want to volunteer regularly at a local food bank and build relationships with my community. This story sets the baseline for her and for us. That's why we do the current versus the desired story. So we know where we are, because until we know where we are and where we want to go, nothing much happens, right? We just react and respond like the rest of the people on the planet, or most of the people on the planet, to what comes our way. And what comes our way, we are really attracting, but it's at a subconscious level. So we're not really consciously aware, and we're not really creating what it is that we want. We're just reacting to what happens based on what we're naturally putting out for energy. So I've been into some woo-woo stuff for a long time, but I don't really share much of it because I think each of us have our own journey. And I think before you get to woo-woo, you usually have a whole lot of experiences that are different than other people's, but similar to the other people that are going through the same thing. So today, what's our action item? We are going to write a paragraph about what is our current contribution story. What's the current situation? And then we're going to write a paragraph about, well, what would we ideally like it to be? What do we really want in this area or aspect of our life? I haven't done mine yet, or I'd share it with you. If you want me to share it after I create it, put share in the comments below, or Sharon share in the comments below or something, and I will share mine. Otherwise, just like you, I'm just going to do it in my journal, my annual challenge journal. I hope you have one, because anything worth doing is worth documenting. If our life is worth living, and it sure ought to be, then it's worth documenting. It's worth at least capturing the important moments and the things that matter most to us, because those things change over time. It's so fun to go back and look at past journals and past versions of ourselves and see how massively we've actually grown and changed, because we just don't see it a lot of the time. All right. If I can help you anyway, just ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you here tomorrow.